Part 1. What is fasting and why is it good for you? Chapter 1. What is fasting? This chapter thoroughly explains that fasting is entirely different from starvation. By starvation, it means that people do not know when they will ever eat again and where their food will come from. By fasting, it says that food is available, but you voluntarily decide not to eat. Fasting is, in fact, an ancient technique known to humankind thousands of years ago. Unfortunately, because of the advent of large food companies, it has long been forgotten that fasting is indeed a dietary therapy. This ancient secret of weight loss, as how Dr. Fung describes it, is further discussed in the next chapter. Fasting All-Stars Mark Sisson. In this chapter, Mark Sisson narrates his experience of successfully incorporating fasting into his life. Here, he shares that he felt skeptical about fasting until he was stuck on an overseas flight without any available food for 36 long hours. He says this is an opportunity to try fasting, which he was able to do triumphantly. He also learned that fasting would not make you lose your strength and muscle mass. The disappearance of daily fasting. Before people learned to eat more than 3 times a day, type 2 diabetes and obesity were very rare. Data gathered from the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey, NHANES, indicated that an average American ate an average of 3 meals per day during the 1970s. Today, the result of an NHANES study showed that a typical American consumes 5 or 6 meals a day. What happens when we eat? We don't get to use all the food energy we ingest when we eat one meal, and the critical hormone insulin explains this. Insulin is stimulated by the protein and carbohydrates contained in the food we eat. Insulin either stores excess food energy or allows us to start using it promptly. When excess food energy is kept in our body, glycogen is stored in our liver. However, the amount of glycogen stored in the liver is only limited, and once this is reached, the body eventually turns glucose into fat, and the amount of fat that can be created is limitless. What happens when we fast? When we fast, the process of food energy stored is reversed. The stored food energy in the liver begins to burn when insulin levels decline. This energy is enough for 24 hours or more. If we eat every so often, it will apparently make us gain weight. Therefore, it means that eating and fasting should both be practiced in a balanced way. Samantha, Fasting Success Story. In this section, Samantha shares her personal experience of fasting. She begins by narrating that in 1999, she suffered from polycystic ovary syndrome, or PCOS, a health condition related to insulin resistance. She tried several methods to treat her illness, including progesterone therapy and natural herbs, but all failed. She was then diagnosed with type 2 diabetes in 2015, and every time she talked to her doctor, it seemed as if there was no chance of getting cured. She was prescribed medicines until she discovered Dr. Fung, who promoted proper diet, more explicitly fasting, to help address her illness. This prompted her to try the water-only fasting program. She started by practicing the 3 to 5 day water fasts. While her focus was to beat diabetes and not to lose weight, she nonetheless successfully lost 30 pounds in 4 months. This favorably improved her insulin sensitivity. She used to consume a lot of rice or pasta on a daily basis, but when she started to practice a balanced diet, she decided to shift to meat and vegetables, without rice or pasta. She still eats cheese and nuts, but only in small amounts. After 4 months from the day she was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, she started to achieve healthy blood sugar levels. At the same time, her PCOS issue was also addressed. She never bought the prescriptions given to her by her doctor.